Look at the modern software landscape, and you will see an industry obsessed with automated acquisition. Companies pour endless resources into complex funnels, trying to shove as many users as possible through the door, greeting them with an automated "thanks for subscribing" email. But a massive leak drains this digital system. It's called churn. A significant percentage of these newly acquired users drop off immediately after their initial trial or first month of subscription. The triggers for this drop-off are entirely relatable. Think about the last time you tried a new tool. The onboarding was confusing, you got stuck, and when you reached out for help, you hit a wall of automated, non-existent support. You most likely gave up. Software companies expect high-tech solutions to keep users engaged, but the reality is much simpler. When users feel ignored or left in the dark, they abandon the platform entirely, drifting off into a transactional void. The ultimate growth hack to stop this churn skips algorithms and drip campaigns entirely. It relies on the highly unscalable, totally manual act of treating software users like flesh and blood humans. The primary antidote to churn is trust, and building it requires radical honesty. If a feature isn't working, you have to admit it openly, abandoning the standard corporate PR silence. Users actually have a surprisingly high tolerance for mistakes. A missed deadline or an unexpected bug won't drive them away. What they refuse to tolerate is being misled or completely ignored. This active feedback loop builds trust. Step 1 is explicitly asking, "How would you like to improve this product?" Step 2 is executing the suggested fix based on that input. Finally, reach back out personally to inform them you built their update. Closing that feedback loop takes someone who was passively consuming a service and turns them into a highly credible, invested partner in the product's success. That credibility fuels word-of-mouth marketing. People inherently trust recommendations from their peers significantly more than they trust digital ads. You foster those recommendations by giving peers a dedicated space to connect. Creating Discord servers or active subreddits, or hosting live Ask Me Anything events gives users a place to interact. It moves the dynamic away from a purely transactional relationship, where you only interact when an invoice is due, and shifts it toward a relational one, where you actively celebrate a user's operational wins. Consider an account manager running a standard software demo. While presenting her screen, she heard a dog barking in the background on the user's end. A few days later, she sent her standard follow-up email, but included a question asking how the dog was doing. The client signed the deal and explicitly told the account manager she chose the product because of that specific question. Basic human decency and relationship building cuts straight through the noise of a purely digital environment. People connect with people, making these small, unscalable gestures incredibly effective sales tactics. This chart illustrates lifetime value, or LTV, which measures SaaS health far more accurately than first-time acquisition numbers. Notice how the flat, one-time revenue of a single acquired user is easily dwarfed by the compounding exponential revenue growth of a retained user over time. The software business operates heavily like a local coffee shop. The owner cannot survive on the profit from single transient walk-ins. The business relies entirely on the daily regulars who keep coming back. In software, those regulars provide an additional compounding benefit. Loyal users leave positive public reviews on platforms like Capterra and GetApp, generating award badges that boost the product's overall reputation. By incentivizing these reviews with offers like a free month of service, companies create a self-sustaining visibility engine driven entirely by their user base. The ultimate outcome of high LTV is that engaged users stick around and eventually become a free, vocal sales team that advocates for the product on your behalf. So start small. Pick one user today. Step out from behind the corporate logo and engage them in a non-transactional conversation. Ask about their experience, or simply drop a casual check-in. In a heavily automated digital world, algorithms, interface features, and drip campaigns can be replicated in weeks. Genuine human connection remains the only competitive advantage that your competitors cannot easily copy or code.